developing breeds of excellence.
Hello everyone, Happy New Year. It's good to have you on another episode of Soaring Eagles Talk Show. On today's episode, we'll be discussing a very important topic. I call it important because it's a topic that affects both young people and adults. We have an amazing guest in the studio today who will be doing justice to our topic today. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have you in the studio. Happy New Year, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before we go into today's talk show, we want to meet you. Can you just introduce yourself to us, sir?
Thank you very much. I am Pastor Michael Ogiji. I have a diploma in public administration from Plateau State Polytechnic, a degree in political science from University of Jos, and a master's degree in public policy and administration. I've also been a staff of University of Jos for almost 33 years. Then moved to Federal University of Health Sciences, Otukpo, currently, where I am presently a deputy registrar in the university. I've been a pastor also for more than 40 years.
Oh, wow.
The Lord has been helping us. I've been a state coordinator of the youth wing of the Deeper Life Bible Church. We control the state and help us, and we work with the youth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. You have an amazing profile, and I'm so excited because you said you have worked with the youth. Now, I said earlier that our topic affects both young people and adults, but I feel it affects young people more. Okay, so on today's episode of Soaring Eagles Talk Show, we'll be talking about dealing with the pressure of materialism. Okay, so sir, what do you call materialism?
Well, materialism, it have different understanding. The simple one people know is the quest for wealth.
The quest for wealth.
Getting wealth, getting material things.
Getting material things.
And that's a simple one. However, in a deeper sense too, materialism could be the summary of the totality of human being. Because sometimes you're looking at the angle of material from the finance.
Okay.
But what about academics? What about status? That is also part of materialism.
Okay, so looking at materialism in a broad sense, you say it is not just the quest for money.
No.
It can be the quest for academic success,
Yes.
for material possessions.
Yes.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, if we talk about materialism being the quest to get possession in general, be it finance, be it material possession, be it academic success and everything. Now, our topic today is talking about the pressure of materialism.
Yeah.
So, in a general sense, is the quest for materialism wrong?
Okay, you will not look at it as wrong in a general broad sense.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to be behind.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be backward.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be noted for something. So the quest is not wrong, the general sense.
In general sense.
However, the way people pursue materialism from different individuals could be wrong. And I will talk more about that when we go further.
We'll go into that.
Sorry.
Okay, so in our society today, success generally is measured by how much a person has, how much acquisition, material things, possibly how many houses a person has, how many cars, the person's net worth. That's what we see generally as being successful. So when I look at somebody and I say this person is successful, the first thing I begin to ask myself is, how much does this person has? Or probably, how many cars does this person has? Or how many houses does this person has? So looking at it that way, can I say a person who doesn't have those things isn't successful?
No. The definition given to those who have assets is not completely a reality. I read about Elon Musk. They asked him a question that will you allow your daughter to marry a poor man? And he said no.
Wow.
And he was the richest person in the world measured. He said no. Then he started giving the background who is a poor man. He said that the gambler who won $5 million is not a rich man. That because he's a poor man, he will waste that resources because he does not have the idea of creating wealth. So you see, acquisition of material, acquisition of building, car is not the product of success. There are people that create wealth. They may not have cash. In fact, there are times a millionaire may lack 5,000, but he's still a millionaire. So it is not only about having cash. In a reaccounting terms, money is not measured majorly by the cash you have. It is measured by the worth of what you can do. If you look at Coca-Cola today, you discover that Coca-Cola, almost every village, you can see Coca-Cola. And what has caused it is not because they have assets to multiply, but because of the intelligence. So you see that the world is not just material things. That's where people miss it. Everybody wants to show
that he
but
has.
That he has. And yet, that is not the measurement.
So I'm so happy we are talking about this today because let's go to the youth. When we look at them now, a youth has ideas. He has things that can make him acquire wealth, that can make him rich. But he says that at that point, he doesn't have money at hand. Probably he doesn't have a car, or he doesn't have those things with him as material possession. So that person now, he is poor. So looking at materialism, do we say, because what we see now, we see youth engaging in a lot of vices, and it's in the quest to get
wealth.
So, and when people discuss topics like materialism, they focus on the youth because they feel it is something that affects just the youth. So this quest for materialism or this pressure we have in our society today, does it affect just young people?
No, it's not just young. But let me say something before I give the answer to that. If you go out there, you see youth into different vices, different means of acquiring. I still refer back to what I read about this Elon Musk. He said something that a young man, a gardener, the security man at a bank saw money outside and took the money back to the manager. And people were calling him all sorts of names that he was stupid. Because a security man seeing bag of money outside, carrying it back. But something happened. 3 years later, they employed him as a receptionist in that bank. 10 years later, he became a manager in that bank. In 15 years later, he became a regional manager, controlling so many numbers of people, more than the money he returned. Can you see now? So when you are, the quest is to get the cash today, you may die before getting it. But when there is that patience, to be patient to get the real wealth. For instance, you see some of these youth, they are very, very intelligent. They have ideas. But they're not patient for the idea to materialize. You see now, we're talking about material. So the idea has not developed. Let's go to the religious cycle. If you go to everywhere now, you see young people, they open churches. And before you know, the church and them die. Because they were not patient enough to really have what it takes to sustain what they started. That's where the problem is. Now, returning to the question, is it peculiar to youth? It's not peculiar, it's a human nature. You know, God created us with a quest to be greater. Yes. And that quest develops. However, if you don't return that particular plant God planted in you to God to manage it, you're going to misuse it. Look at the musicians. If you look, those days, if you listen to songs, they have meanings. Exactly. Because those songs, they minister to us. Even if they are not peculiar to a particular set of religion, but it ministers to us. For instance, the musician who sang, "Who owns the land?" was a political word used to say, who are the owners of the land? Who are managing the land? We benefited from that. The song they minister today, or they sing today, sometimes you don't even know the meaning. You just see somebody singing, awit, 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 awit. It has no meaning. They are just looking for money. So, and that person does not go far. So that's where the problem lies. It's not peculiar to youth.
Materialism is not just peculiar to youth.
No, it's a human quest.
Okay, it's a human quest. Now, we see it as a human quest. What we say are the things that make people, because some people's quests are now becoming, the Bible calls it inordinate.
Yes.
They want to go to any lengths.
To go teach.
Because everybody is having this, everybody is doing this, so I want to. What are those things that make people go into those kind of quests for materialism?
Yes, it's just like you say, inordinate. There is a nature, greed. There are some people that have that greed in their heart. They are never satisfied with what they have. They are never patient. Impatience is there in the heart. Then, another thing that causes many people to run into is fear and inferiority. When they assume that what they have is not as important or is not as good, then you see them running to even copy others. Look at in academics nowadays. You see fragility because so many people copy other people's work. And what is the reason? They are not patient to go into research. The same thing in business. You see somebody carry another person's business and we just go and polish it a little and change the name and then it becomes his. That's problem. So the quest is because of that selfishness in man. It's inside. And as far as human beings refuse to allow God to take a possession of the heart he created, that heart cannot produce anything very useful because the heart is controlled. If God is not controlling your heart, be sure Satan will control it.
Okay, so we see greed, we see impatience, we see fear.
Yes.
All these are what make people go into the quest for materialism. And people are ready to do anything.
Yes.
Anything at all to get it. Now, when we started, I remember I asked if the quest to get material possession is wrong.
Yes.
And you said no.
Yes.
Okay, so can you outline a step-by-step procedure on how to go about getting material possession or how to go about acquiring material possession?
Thank you very much. That is very good. And actually we want to give it a sort of step-by-step. One, if you say a child that is 12 years, who should be in secondary school, desiring to own a car, even the parents will be disorganized. It will not, It's not a right quest. So, one, we should stage our lives. There is time for everything. The time should be in primary school. Make sure you focus on that time. That's what we call stages in life. Make sure you manage the stages in life very well. When you should be in secondary school, go to secondary school. The time you should be in university. If you are not able to go to university or you're not able to go beyond secondary school, learn a trade. Be patient. If you go to the communities like the Igbo community, you discover that many young people, they learn trade. They are patient with their boss. When they graduate, they say to them, so be patient wherever you are. If you go to mechanic places and even the Hausa-dominated areas, you see some of these small children, they are learning something. And by the time they go, they grow. And some of them, through that, they do very well. So you see that we should be patient to learn something. That's one of the first stages. One of the first that we must do. Learn something. Make sure you have something. If you are going through education, do it very well. Get certificate. If you are going through tech, learn it. Do it, be patient. Don't rush to it. Anything at all you're going to do, start well. That's one. Number two stage that is necessary step to getting the material world is to make sure that you identify with the needs of the society. Look at the societies like few days to the Christmas. I've lived in Equastar for more than 12 years. There was no market here. Nobody said chicken, ram, cow here. But one person identified the need here, brought them, and he sold. So always try to study the needs of this environment, the community. Then you provide solution. There was a young boy that was studying geography in University of Calabar. This boy, he was not having money, but he did something very good. He started going from house to house in the GRO area. He said, "Home Baba, Home Baba." He will come, he will barb you in your house. Instead of you going to the shop to barb, he was going from house to house. Home Baba is around, Home Baba is around. Eventually, he told the people, you can buy your clipper. He started bringing clipper. Eventually, he has a generator, he has a car that carry generator, buy many clippers. He will come around, he will say to you, he will use, when he come, he use your own to barb you. And in the whole GRA, they knew him, Home Baba, Home Baba. He became not only Home Baba, he became a seller of clipper. And he became very wealthy. You see, his patience. He did not just go and steal. He was able to graduate. He did not even use his geography certificate for employment because he has gotten job already. He has started selling and he was expanding it beyond the GRA. So you see, that's the way to make it.